Hello, this is Jazzy, aka Jasmine McKnight, on my podcast, Jazzy Self Love Creations, Expressions of Self Love 101. We're here this evening, Monday evening, with a special guest, my children's father, Mr. Donald Banks. And we're going to talk to him about a nice, healthy topic, I feel. And we're going to have our icebreaker before. And so welcome to episode 3. Hello, Mr. Donald Banks. Would you tell us a little bit about yourself, your occupation, I guess, and where you're from?
Okay, I'm from Philadelphia. I work at Walmart.
And do you love your job? Do you do it with pride?
It pays the bill.
Yes.
It pays the bill.
Okay, and so we can say that you do that with pride.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, okay, today's icebreaker. My icebreaker is, what in school was your favorite subject and why?
My favorite subject in school was history.
And why is that?
My grandparents raised me, so I always was into Black history.
Right.
And I used to do my own information, like from them teaching me. I used to always do my own research on information. I always excelled in history. One of my favorite.
That's cool. Well, for me, I would say my favorite thing in school would probably have been like maybe art. Like, I really, really, really loved art. I wanted to be a teacher or an art teacher ever since I can remember. And I went to school for, I went to school for digital media, so I got to dibble and dabble in a lot of that as far as different medias. And, I really found that I'm really good at that. Like, it's really something. That's why I always wanted to be that, because, I'm really good at it, come to find out.
Right.
And so that's so cool. All right, so now we're going to talk about the topic. We're going to get to the nitty gritty. This is the best part of the show that I think everybody probably comes for. So, we're going to talk about today, before you became a parent, 4.5, 5 years ago, right? How was your mindset on the world? And now that you have a child and children, right?
Uh-huh.
How do you look at the world now? Do you analyze everything with a fine-tooth pen? Like, do you just say, okay, whatever I did know that was logically the thing that made sense? Like, how is your mindset now as you have children about the world?
Well, it's definitely changed. Before then, it was more of thinking of myself, like being more selfish as far as for me.
Right.
Now, that's not an option.
Yeah.
I think more of the kids. I think more of my daughter.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned. More protective. Because there's so much going on.
Right. And
so
so we got to make the best choice that we could, not think out of fear, but think out of logic and reason and what's the best, the best choice for the whole, like, not just for self, right?
I find myself looking at, like, say if we go, like, I used to drop her off from the train station,
Mm-hmm.
I will always look at a problem that can occur,
Right.
and how would I avoid that problem. Like it was a habit. Even every time I had her, I always look at stuff that can happen, and I
Right.
try my best to avoid it.
Right.
I mean, so I'm like I'm just real more careful. Like I'm very careful with her.
Right. And I would think that you might be, if you think about it, you're more careful when it comes to yourself too, so that you can be here for her as well. Like that goes hand in hand as well.
Right.
And
Right.
so, my perspective for me, before I had kids, I think maybe I wasn't, we said selfish or selfless. Like I didn't think, only about myself, because I also had a younger brother, 9 years younger than me, and also other brothers, older and younger, and also sisters. So it's like, I had that, but right at home it was my brother. So that was like, at 9 years old, that's pretty much my son. I had the mindset a long time ago that it's not just about me when,
Right.
with anything I do. But as far as my own children that belong to me, that I've had, given birth to, conceived, everything, I think I spare a lot of situations. I used to be real quick. I was always a quiet person, but I noticed I used to be real quick to respond. Now, like you were saying, how you play it out in your head before you even do it, before it even happens. I think I'm like that now. I'm like always 80 steps ahead of the situation that we already see about to probably happen. So I can relate to that.
Right. See, I found myself like my mom. My mom used to be she used to always give me her last, like when I was a kid, like her last piece of bread and cheese, whatever, or her last cup of juice. I find myself doing the same thing.
Oh yeah, right.
So
We didn't think about the things
that's
that
what
we
I mean
learned
by
from our
selfish.
parents. I didn't think about that. The things that we learned from our parents, what do we instill, or what do we have in our back pocket as an adult that we whipped out definitely for our children. That is one, right?
Yeah.
To give them your last.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I think of myself last. Like I make sure they eat first before I eat. I mean, like before they was in my life, I mean, like that wasn't an option.
Right.
Like I'm going to eat.
Right.
I'm going to eat. But now it's like I'll eat when I get the chance. I'll eat when I get the time. Just make sure they get the food first.
Right. And I almost wonder, because of the culture that I did have a wonderful experience with growing up, being exposed to African culture. Here in New Jersey, in New York as well, with Babatunde Olatunji and his wife, Miss Iya Gaga Amy. Being around those true Africans, like, they would give, okay, if someone comes in the home, they give everyone, right? Their food, whatever food it is they have, that's the rule, right? Then when it comes to maybe a celebration party, whatever, another unspoken rule is a unspoken cultural rule. I feel I was actually taught this, being around multiple people in African culture settings, that you give the elder the food first. And it's so funny that you say that, because I wonder, like, what kind of thinking is that we think that? Because for me, I make the kids' plates first for a whole nother reason. Right? We make it so they can shut up, because they're probably rowdy real quick, and now I need to hurry up and give them their stuff so they can be quiet. But ultimately, I mean, which one is morally correct?
I really,
Whatever one suits the individual.
I really don't know.
whatever suits the individual, probably, right?
Yeah.
Because each one is okay. Because you got your different reason, but I got my different reason. But there's still, you know, you got an understanding of why. Like, my reason would be different, so I wouldn't choose to do that. I would choose the other one. But you choose that because that's something that your mom instilled in you. Like,
right.
So it's not, you know, that's not a bad thing. I just wonder where that comes from. Like, which way is actually the proper way? But, you know.
I don't fully understand it. I fully understand it because I remember my mom. I remember my mom used to. My mom used to. My mom used to say some things like, "Damn, I can't have nothing."
Oh yeah.
I can't have nothing. You gotta have that. Like, I don't do like that with the kids. I mean, like, but I do know what she's talking about because she used to ask me, "Did you want this?" I'm like, "No." And as soon as she get it, "Can I have some?" So she used to get mad about that. Like,
right.
I mean, I don't ever get like that with them though. Like,
yeah,
I always ask them if whatever they want, I get it for them. If I got it, I get it for them.
Right. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Like, for me, when it comes to that, like, all right, I have my 3. You know, I have 10, 4, and 1. Like, they all pretty much can eat from me. I've gotten to the point after the second one eating everything, at least half or more of the life of the second one, she's exhausted. So you've messed it up for anything else and everyone else, because I'm not sharing no food no more. I'm going to make you your own food. You're going to have to wait a second, right? Like, that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah.
I'm totally, like, that's where I'm at with that. I mean, you know, once upon a time, yeah, in my theory, what I tell them, I'm like, you were eating it for a whole year on my stomach and you come out here and you're still doing it? Like, when is it going to stop? Like, you're like 20. You still eat my food. No. Let's make your own. But, you know, and that's when we got to learn that, okay, well, guess what? We want to show them how to make something. Like, the 4-year-old, she can make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and the 10-year-old, she can cook. Like, so it's good. You know, we don't have to worry about that. So, well, so, we had this discussion, and I really enjoyed it. Really, really. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time and your courage to speak up about parenthood. And was there anything that you want to say for the Jazzy Self Love Creations crew that is listening on the iPod? You know, is there something you want to say to everyone? Your farewell?
Yeah, I do. Check out the store. She got a lot of good products, organic products that works. I'm pretty sure if you buy it, you try it, you'll love it. She got stuff for men. She got stuff for females, women, little kids. It works. I use it every day.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, so we're going to close out. That was episode 3 with Mr. Donald Banks. Thank you so much for coming to speak to us. And
no problem.
All right.